What's going on, Matt? So, finally, I'm doing the Windows privilege escalation for OSCP. So, this time, I didn't lie, right? I told you I'm gonna deliver OSCP Windows privilege escalation to you, and I'm doing it. So, I'm just a little pat or little thumbs up would be really appreciated. So Matt, the reason why I'm showing you Windows privilege escalation instead of other hack the box machine is, compared to other process or phase like reconnaissance, initial access, or privilege escalation, or reconnaissance or initial access. Privilege escalation is relatively easier. Let me correct that. Privilege escalation in OSCP is relatively easier than any other two phases. So mainly because it doesn't really deviate much. So today I'm going to deliver Windows privilege escalation. On the next recording, I want to deliver Linux privilege escalation, so that it kind of pays out. I mean, it kind of matches, right? So, with that being said, just kind of to recap what's going on, right? I basically, for penetration testing, I basically separate them to three different phases. First, reconnaissance, then initial access, then privilege escalation. Reconnaissance is a combination of getting system information and searching for vulnerability. In initial access, meaning that we want to get to the system, we want to have some kind of connectivity to the system. And privilege escalation, meaning that we want to elevate ourselves to root or NP authority or administrators, so that we can have control over the system. So I think that's clear, relatively easier, right? The reason why I start with privilege escalation, because it's the easiest out of three different phases. As long as you have good checklist or step, you will be good to go. Reconnaissance I can cover after I do Linux privilege escalation. I'm going to cover Linux reconnaissance briefly. Initial access wise, we really need to just hack a box to show the process. So that's kind of lost. So without the further ado, right, here goes Windows privilege escalation. At this point, we already gain system connectivity. We already talking to the box, and the box is talking back to us. At this point, without going super technical command, I just want to show you. So as I log in, or as I gain the shell, spawn a shell, right, I check for connection, right? What's my IP address, and what's this target's IP address, and what port is open, those kind of information. And then I want to know what's my current privilege, right? Who am I at this point? And then I want to get to know that what's my desired privilege. Do I want to be some administrator, or do I want to be some other users? Then I want to collect the system information. I mean, like what patch level, what's the kernel, what system is this? Is this 32-bit or 64-bit, or what is it? What is this? Then I want to know processes, or what can be turned on or turned off, and what's running on the system. And then I want to know about service, like what is constantly running without any, so basically without giving me any information. That statement is wrong. what is constantly running, and let's leave it at that. Then I want to know about auto run, what's automatically running, and then search for weak permission, and then I like to know about misconfiguration on the system. Then I like to know what's a user installed application on the system. Then search for password registry and etc. So that's a mouthful. I just told you a mouthful of information to you. So without going super detailed about those, let's dive into VM as actually search for it. So as I promised, this is my Windows machine, right? What's slightly different is that you'd see this page from your attack machine, which is usually Kali in this case, but I'm bypassing all that so that I can show you all the right process to you without any difficulties or additional layers of blockage. So let's start with Netstat Anno. The first step I mentioned earlier, right? The first step I mentioned to you earlier is I want to know what's connection is, what is connected, and what information do I have, right? So let's get in there. Netstat Anno. This command will show you, and is this big enough? I hope this is big enough, and I think I can make it even larger. Property font 50. That's a good number. Okay, that's perfect. So Netstat Anno will give you your port and port state and PID and process ID number and a lot of information. So at this point, 0000 meaning that you can access to this target from as long as you're in the right net, in the same subnet or net group. 127.0.0.1 meaning that you can access to this port or service or process, whatever you want to call it. You only can access to this system from the inside. Only the target can access to 5939, and I covered the SSH tunneling last time. So it's either you gotta get some initial access, then set up a SSH tunneling, then access to the system. And there's a lot of good information right there. And under good information, I think config all will give you all the information about the systems and this and that. So let's go back to the PowerPoint and let's take a look at, right? I'll bring it here and told you about Netstat Anno. Now I want to search for my current privilege. This is simple, right? Who am I? I'm a student. Or who am I? All, to show you all the information about myself. Another good command is that net users. So it shows you all the users in the system. You have this one, that one, and that, whatever. Cool. So we know that we are a student, and I think we don't have enough privilege, right? So we want to elevate ourselves to administrator. Another command we want to check it out is net localgroups or group, right? It will show you all the network local groups within the system. Then you want to know more about administrators, net local groups administrators, and I don't think that was the right command. Net. So under administrators group, administrator and student is in an administrators group, and it has higher privilege. For that reason, on this box, we will not need to elevate our privilege to administrator, because that's just additional effort, as long as we can get to whatever information, all the needed information, right? So let's go back. But for today's purposes, I'm just gonna go cover everything that I want to cover. So that's whoami priv, and still whoami or net user, and this is just same, right? Once you kind of figure out what is really needed, who you really want to be, now this is time for you to gain information regarding the system, like systeminfo. Will take some time, right? And it'll spit out all those information, like OS name, right? What build is that? Architecture, whatever. I'm using Sans machine, but I'm not doing anything. With the Sans material itself, so please ignore that. A hotfix is like a patch, right? Like security patches or whatever patch that Microsoft wants to put it out. All those good information, and the information you want to get out of here is that OS version. With this one, you can use to do kernel exploit if it's not patched well. So another good tool, or I can cover that later. So you basically want to do search for that, and if you think system is vulnerable, then you go to GitHub or whatever website that you like to use and search for the Windows versions, that specific version of vulnerability. Then you want to look for process, right? Let's see what process is running. Tasklist. Good command for that is a tasklist, tech/v, and here's a whole lot of information here. So in generally, you go all the way up, and so this is I think this is slightly too big font for this purpose, so I'm gonna downgrade to 36 and open it up. There we are. So system, idle, process, services, PID session, session name, section, memory uses, status, username. I would recommend usually checking for those items that does not have any username. So SVC host and SMS, those are usually supposed to be there. Yeah, but basically your job is that you're gonna go through, get to know more about the system and trying to exploit that. And even tasklist is here. Good resource for that is here. So earlier, I told you that you want to have some kind of note, right? You can have a physical note that you want to carry every single time. That's one good option to memorize everything. Another option is have some kind of online, like cloud-based or whatever, GitHub, not cloud-based, online, something you can access anytime and anywhere, like GitHub or Gitbook, so that you can kind of use it whenever you want, like itself. So this is my note I created. I copy and paste a lot of resources from the external side. It's not really very organized because like I put it in there, but for me, I know where to go to get information. So that's how I see it. So like let's go process. So I didn't put any detailed information, right, or description, and as you can see, it is not well organized, and I'm working to whatever. But can you do this and find IP ID. Once you have more information to that, you kind of want to get more information about it. So yeah, my note is just terrible, but I know what to do, so whatever. So this is basically you gathering information about the process and whatever is running. And let's go back to the PowerPoint VM. And you want to know more about the systems and whatever. And you want to identify where those files are located at. So let's do that. Windows task list. And or this one, pentest. So Hacktrig is another good resource. It's like a one resource that you can use for almost anything and everything. As well, so I'd highly recommend that. See for information kernel, PowerShell, drives, network running process. Here we go. Running process. Right, and you'll get information by doing so. So basically this whole purpose is that you're gonna identify a odd process that is running on the system and try to get more information, then search for vulnerability from the online and see how it works out. And I cannot really copy and paste. Phi is not working. Why not? Yeah, sometimes username equals system. Oh, so when you're stuck, you can just do, which will give you details about more information about everything. S phi, and oh, here we go. Here's syntax. Username any NT authority system. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so if you want to know more about it, yeah, just basically Windows internal.composable whatever, then go research about it, then you'll find the vulnerability that way. So it's here, task list, tag V, then service, whatever is running on. I don't think I changed it. Yeah, here we go. Back to my PowerPoint. Yeah, so here we go. Then jump into service. Service is slightly different. All right, let's go back to my stuff. So it's like we can use a lot of tools, wmic, scqc, or we're looking for services with no description. So we're gonna search for services that run with system privilege and are misconfigured, insecure service properties, unqualified service, or weak registration permission, and insecure service, executable, and here's better, and DLL hijacked. I'm not gonna cover all those, but I'll show you. I'll pass you these links to my note, and as I'm talking, I'm editing, so you can feel how up to date this is, or how lazy I am, but whatever. So we can use guest service, bar where, and for whatever, and a lot of good information. So let's say scqc, let's go for that. Let's say scqc, yeah, scqc svc host. That, oh, sqc svc host .exe or tasklist.exe. No, that's not how we supposed to use this. Oh, so you're trying to get used to with this new recording application, and forgot to turn it on. But let's find how to use scqc. Here we go. We can use scqc and service name. Okay. scqc, my server, new server, scqc rpcss. So let's do get service. This spits out a whole bunch. I'm gonna find stir I running. Where is it? Yeah. So let's say I want to know more about WinDefend. I want to go scqc WinDefend or WinMGMT. No information. WSCSVC. I don't think I'm using it right, but so I'm gonna do that equal running. Can I just copy and paste here? Yeah. Yay. And something is not right, so I'm not gonna troubleshoot that at this moment. But as you can tell, I cannot memorize all this, right? It's just a lot of strings. I mean, if I do this every single time, yes, I would know that, but it just, if your number one purpose is to pass OSCP, you'll keep typing this every single time. You'll eventually remember. But yeah, and this is the reason why your note is critical, because you'll basically Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Right, scqc Windows audio, QC workstation. I guess I'm doing something wrong here, and I really want to show you how to use it. Oh, here we go. Here you can use wmic to get the process number and whatever, right? Process ID, Netstat, no. Here comes 54116. Invalid get. I guess I don't know what this is. Okay. So here I'm getting whatever. So that's just too much information. I'm gonna get command line. Okay, it's empty. How about description? Yeah, that's better. So I finally remember how you did. So tasklist, tag v, you're gonna come up with a whole bunch of stuff, and you'll find whatever port that is PID that is interesting to you. So from that point, we're gonna use wmic to get more information about that 780, or like this. It will show you where it is located at. Is it? It'll give you spit out a whole bunch of information. So let's go back to our magical PowerPoint slide. Get service only works in PowerShell, or you can do wmic, and Netstat and SCQC or an SCQC. One day I'll find out the more information about this, and I'll get you right information. The other one I want to show you is that Netstat. So it'll basically show you all the running services on the box. Yeah, so if you want to know about those, you can follow those SQC, binary pass, and whatever, and get more information out of it. Unquoted pass for services. So basically, it's looking for those services that is not quoted. Let's see if I can show you an example. Crap. Bad command line. So this doesn't really work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reduce by this. Okay. So what you're looking for is that you're looking for those services that doesn't have quoted here. So what's gonna happen if it doesn't have a quote, how the Windows system will look for is that you're gonna go for C, then program whatever and search for whatever. So this kind of sounds complicated, but once you have done it a few times, it'll be a lot easier. Let's go back to PowerPoint, right? But I'm not gonna add that to it. So next I want to cover is the auto run. So here, go to auto run. So we are looking for whatever. You're gonna check for the check registry. So we're trying to do this all of this. Actually, where is it? I don't think I'm showing you right information. So we are running this command. So this is basically going for HKLM. That's a local machine. HKCU is a current user, so it's whatever is in the system itself is running, versus this is whatever is allowed it for that specific user. So let's go run that, and we got security going on, and we got VMware going on, or this is for the current user. And for this, you have OpenVPN and Blaze server tool is running. But I think you got the point, right? Basically, write a note. My point is that make a process that for connect. I want to know what connection is. I want to know what's current privilege. I want to know what's the desired privilege I want to get to. I want to collect system information, and so on and so on. You're gonna get to the next. You're gonna have a long list of checklists that you can follow, step by step. Because when you run out of the process, the list, that's the time that you'll panic during the exam. Weak permission. So I'm not gonna go through every single one of it. I just want to show you how I usually do it, and that's about it. So check service permission on the box. Oh my gosh, this is horrible because I didn't do a good job of updating it, and as we speaking I'm gonna do that because I hate those unfinished note. So I'll update this as we as soon as I'm done with this, or whenever. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, overrun, make sure you're checking it. Always installed Elevate. This is just under their misconfiguration attack. You check for registry, you look for right flag, and then do attack on that, right? Or you can search for Winpeas, password, pass, and whatever. And there's a whole other way to do this, but you know, I talk big about how I'm gonna do this, and then it doesn't seem like I'm not giving you a whole lot of information on this. So I'll just leave it here, because yeah. So anyhow, here's Winpeas. Is the only one tool that, one of the out of many tools you wanna use this tool to your privilege escalation. Let me Windows Priv, and the course I want to mention is that, here we go. Yeah, it's teach by T-Reus, and it's on sale for $15. It's up to you whether you're gonna get it or not, but from my perspective, it was a lot of good information. A lot of good information here. So I just have a feeling that I'm gonna cut this video off and let you have fun with it. I'll share this link whatever with you, so you can kind of go through it, read it, and if you have questions, you can always hit me up via Discord, and we can discuss further. So yeah, I don't think I did a good job, but hopefully you liked it, or not liked it, or I'll prepare better next time. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it a day. Bye.